working now.
Does it look better to you?
I mean, the lines are really small. Should we just make sure it can hear us?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And we're back.
And
oh, God
we're
damn
here.
it. It's doing this again.
No, that's okay. It was doing it the first time. We're okay. Just keep going.
What if it like that?
There's no little thingy up there. It's fine.
Okay. All right. You know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Marie.
We are technical idiots.
Yeah.
And this is Murder with My Sister.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. We've had a little week off here, but you'll never know because...
You'll hear them as they drop.
Because we haven't dropped any yet because we're so scared. And my sister's convinced me that we're just going to drop them.
We're just going to do it. You're going to get them. You're going to get them rough. You're going to get them uncut. You're just going to get it.
And you're going to be like, I wish that they would learn how to use their equipment already. And you know what? We do too. We wish we would learn how to use it already too. Because every week is fucking frustrating.
Every time I turn it on, I'm like, are all the lights on?
Is everything happening?
Places?
And then we stop it and we play it back. And then I'm like listening. And then inevitably we'll go back and I'll hit something. And then everything sounds weird and fucked up. So
I hear you.
Yeah. So I'm drinking gas station liquor.
Nice.
I had to stop for gas and you said you were dry today.
Yeah.
And I also have a cup from my sister from a store that shall remain nameless.
Why? We want sponsorships. We love you.
Okay, so it's from Starbucks. I put ice in it thinking it was just a regular old cup. And I came up here and it fucking changed colors.
Yes, it did.
Sorcery.
It is. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So last week, my lovely sister decided that we're going to step adjacent to Illinois, and we were going to just...
We don't have to stay in Illinois.
I want to stay in Illinois.
Well, your stories can stay in Illinois. I think that there's a lot of people out there deserve a voice.
Anyway, she picked a story that I did not have the guts to watch. And then because she chose the story, I had to watch it.
So you did watch it?
Yeah, because you made me.
Okay.
Had you not told me that we had to cover it, I would have never had the courage to watch it.
So I watched it and then decided that we were going to do it. And then I told my sister to watch it. And I was like, just to prepare, I'm going to watch it again. This was definitely not a good idea. Watching it a second time, and I literally just finished it and then started it over again. Watching it a second time sent me into a very dark place. And unfortunately, now I can't get it out of my brain. Like, I think about it every day.
Yeah.
Every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
So thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
So we're talking about the abduction and unfortunately likely murder of Morgan Nick.
We don't know that, and her mom doesn't believe that. Her mom keeps faith, so we're going to say abduction and still missing.
So the name of the documentary was Still Missing Morgan. It's on Netflix? No, it's on Hulu. So when you said last week or whenever we were last here, when you said that you wanted to cover this documentary about Morgan who's missing. I had listened to another favorite podcast.
I'm taking my shoes off.
Do it.
It's happening.
Do it.
They're so stinky.
Do it.
Okay.
I had listened to another of my favorite podcasts. Love it. True Crime Obsessed. Love you, Jillian and Patrick. And they had covered this documentary, so I heard the story through them. But that somehow made it a little bit easier to handle, other than like watching the actual documentary.
So you listen. Okay, so I also, sorry, I stepped away. I also listened to, well, you know, let me just start with my sources for this story.
I thought I was doing the story.
I thought I was doing the story.
I thought I was, that's why I had to watch it.
I thought I was, that's why I watched it fucking twice.
You know what? Go ahead. I've watched it at least 3 times.
Is that better? Our
fine
sources
just go.
For this story
just go.
are the Hulu documentary Still Missing Morgan. I also listened to an episode of True Crime Garage.
Okay.
They covered it, and those guys really should be called like true crime detectives or
They
something.
really do the investigation.
Fucking shit that I've never heard.
They really do the investigation.
I didn't put any of it in this because if you want to listen to it, just go ahead and listen to it. It's titled Morgan Nick on True Crime Garage, and they did a great job. So go ahead. Take it away.
So when you told me that you wanted to do this story and you said Morgan and missing, I, for some reason, did not think of this story. I thought of a different Morgan who's been missing.
What?
Yeah, there's more. Wait, it gets worse.
Well, so what story are we doing?
So we're doing your story, but there's another one that we can talk about if we're not staying in Illinois. Morgan Harrington, a 20-year-old Virginia Tech student who disappeared from a Metallica concert in 2009.
I think I saw this on Disappeared.
Metallica ended up putting up rewards and trying to help with the search for her. My sister's doing terrible things, gesturing to me right now. Stop it. So when I realized that this is what you wanted me to watch, I was like, fuck, I'm going to need like lots of Zoloft or something. I don't know.
Yeah, extra therapy this week.
So do you want to start or you want me to start?
Well, I mean, I have a whole story. So are we going to,
Go ahead. I know the story, but go ahead. You do you, boo. Start.
Well, what story are you doing?
It's Morgan Nick's disappearance.
But not my Morgan Nick.
There's only one Morgan Nick.
You just said you had another Morgan.
I said when you said Morgan was missing, I thought of this story, the other one.
So we're both doing stories today.
No, we're doing Morgan Nick. God damn it. If you guys don't already want to claw your ears off, I'm so sorry.
So here we are. Again.
Anyway.
And now we're going to go. Here we are here. And we're going to go back in the time machine.
Okay.
To 1995.
All right.
I had been out of high school for 1 year.
I had been out of high school for maybe 2.
No shit. You graduated 1 year ahead of me.
Oh, yeah.
So not maybe. And you had how many children at that age of?
At that ripe old age of 18? I had 2.
Hooah.
2 babies.
2 babies.
2 babies. 2 babies and not a brain between us all.
So we are in the town of Elma, Arkansas. Colleen, Nick, and her daughter were together at a Little League baseball game. Mother and daughter sat together most of the evening playing games back and forth and watching the game. Some other children that were at the park had asked her to come and play a couple times, and she didn't. She was a shy little youngster. As it started getting a little later and darker out, they came over and said, hey, we're going to go catch some fireflies, and you want to come with us? And actually this time she had showed some interest. So Colleen says, I didn't feel super comfortable, but she had been accused of kind of, being overprotective, and she wanted her to develop her little sense of independence. Some sources I've read that were like, oh, let her go. The kids are here playing all the time. And you saw the documentary. Yeah. So there's the baseball field and the parking lot that they were going to play was within eyeshot, like eyeshot and earshot.
Yeah.
So off she went. She stayed with a couple of kids. They were gone for a few minutes. The kids came back. I want to say I heard 15 minutes was the time that was between when they last saw her and when the mom was like, where's Morgan? One of the boys stayed with her while she was emptying the sand out of her shoe. And when he noticed that she had kind of was tying her shoe back up, he went back to the parents. And when he went back, Colleen said, where's Morgan? And he said, oh, she stopped to get the sand out of her shoes. And Colleen went to look for her. And that's when things went very, very wrong because she couldn't find her daughter. So the police were notified. And they did respond within 6 minutes. Somebody had a cell phone that they let her use. And this is the interesting thing, it was already like 10:45 at night. So it was a late game.
Yeah.
And we can all sit here now in our 2024 paranoid brains and say, oh my God, how could you let a 5-year-old go away at 10:45? But there's other kids playing all night long.
There were lights. There were
lights. There were so many fucking parents,
many people,
coaches, other players. This man, this person, whoever took her, what I believe and what they believe on this documentary is that they were waiting, was that they had tried other stops to,
get into that.
Yeah, get her, and they didn't. So as the police are called and they start searching for Morgan, they get some information from the boys that there was a man who was kind of creepy, and that's, with the whole red truck thing had started up.
They have video of that truck.
Yeah. Well, they had a video of all that stuff. Like, you remember, I want to say Rick Gilbert, Mr. Gilbert, had a video camera in the 90s.
He did.
And I remember videotaping like all kinds of stuff, like just random stuff. So people were getting them then. I don't want to say affordable prices because I really don't know what they were paying, but like they were accessible.
Yeah.
Like to everyday mom
and it was like having the newest iPhone or something like that. Like if you got one, you brought it everywhere just to show everyone. Right. I have those videotapes downstairs with all the boxes of pictures. There are those little tiny cartridges that you would drop into a big VHS tape. Do you remember that? There was like an adapter, but it was a VHS tape that you would drop the little one in and then play it on the VHS recorder. I still have those little tiny tapes. I don't have any way to play them, but I still have them.
So if there is any youngsters listening, VHS tape was a cassette that was probably the size of like 5 inches by 3 inches. It had a film, a little brownish film, and you would pop it into a whole player. And in some cases, push the top down. In other cases, just insert it.
And it would suck it in.
It would suck it in, and then it would play like magic for us. Not like they have now, which is streaming.
And you had to rewind and be
kind and rewind. Fucking blockbuster. Okay. Morgan was born on September 12th, 1988. She was the first child of Colleen and John Nick. There's a fun little story that her mom tells about her, that she had started school and she came home with the papers to try out for track and field. And her mom's like, I know this kid. And I'm like, okay, we'll fill him out. And on the first or second day of practice, she comes home and she's like, do you know what they expect me to do?
Do you know what track is?
They expect me to run and sweat. And, of course, this is a huge kick. So she says, I'm just going to join the Girl Scouts because the Girl Scouts get to stay inside and glue things. And that stuck with me. I can't stop hearing it in my brain because her mom repeats that probably 3 times. There's so few people whose grief is at the surface of like this woman. I can't watch her because she remembers things, and as she's telling them, they're not a memory. They're fresh in her brain. These are things that she remembers like it was yesterday, and you can fucking feel it.
You can see her
through
heart
the camera
as she's saying things. Like
she's one of the hardest people I've ever watched. And I've seen. I mean, we watch true crime all the time.
This is why I didn't want to watch it. It's not because I don't want to know the story. It's not because I don't feel for them. It's because I'm a fucking coward and I don't want to sit there crying about it.
You have to cry.
Apparently so.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Friends at work tell me I should cry more. My one friend says that I should cry in therapy.
You know what? If we asked Alexis, she would tell you she cries all the time.
I told my friend, I was like, her name is Katie. And I was like, so if I don't cry in therapy, does that mean I'm not validating my therapist? Like, do I owe her like a cry? And I told my therapist about it, and she's like,
no, it just means you're a cold heart.
She's like, you'll cry when you're ready. And I'm like, will I?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's up to that. Okay, so here we are back.
Anyway.
Now we're at the night of the abduction, and it's late, and I have trouble with the nighttime thing. Like, imagine every night we put our kids to sleep. Like, I tuck in the kiddos. I take one on, and Eric takes the other one. Yeah. And whoever gets Eric, they're always like, oh, mom's best. But imagine you wake up in the morning and your day just starts off like normal, and now it's at night and your 5-year-old daughter isn't being tucked in by you, and you don't know where she's at. And honest to God, I think that's enough to kill me. When Alexis went away to college and she's my niece and she wasn't 5, I was like, how do I know she's safe at night? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your daughter is? Oh, like, come on. I can't. Like, I just can't. So I'm going to let you step in from here and tell some stuff, because I'm going to take a little break because I'm starting to get emotional about it.
So you may or may not remember, I did lose my Victor.
Yes, in the store.
No.
He
left the house. So he was Aubrey's age.
What?
He was Aubrey's age. He was 3 or 4. And we're in an apartment in Chicago. We live on the 2nd floor. So the apartment had an interior stairway where you would leave the apartment, you would go down the interior like stairs, and then the front door to the apartment was actually at the bottom of the stairs. So
Chicago.
Love Chicago.
Gotta love it.
So I'm doing whatever. I got the bibas. At some point, at like, probably minutes, I hadn't seen him or heard him. When it gets quiet, you get nervous. I'm like, where's your brother? Asking Alexis. And she just does like the little head tilt because she doesn't talk yet. And I start looking around, and it's a small apartment. So I realized, like, I feel like I knew within minutes that he was not in the apartment. And then I go to the front door, and I see that the door at the top of the stairs, which isn't an outside door, it's just like like a bedroom door kind of a thing. It's just an interior door. It doesn't even have a lock on it, is open. So of course I freak out. He fell down the damn stairs. I look down the stairs. The front door is open. The bottom of the stairs I can see outside. And that door, I'm sorry, you live in Chicago, is always deadbolted. You come in the front door, you close it, you deadbolt that shit. That's never unlocked. So I don't know that my mind initially went to somebody came in and took him, but I knew he wasn't in the apartment and the door was open. I'm pretty sure that's when I called the police.
Called the police?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
I remember this.
I went outside. Everybody, it's a neighborhood in Chicago. Like, you could literally touch the next house from your house.
Right.
People are everywhere. I'm like telling my neighbor, Victor's gone. He's not in the house. I have the police on the telephone. My other neighbors, I'm knocking on Mijo's window. I'm like, is he downstairs? Is he there? Everybody, I kid you not, like just like they describe in this documentary, every person on my block in earshot was looking for this kid. They were looking under cars. They were looking up and down down the block. People were in the alley. I was on the phone with the police, and I swear it couldn't have been longer than 10 minutes that all this went on, but I feel like it lasted hours. And as I was walking, I went through the gangway, through the yard to the alley, and I'm looking up and down the alley, and people are like looking in garbage cans and things like that. And I think it was at that point that I was like, holy shit, we might not see him again. That was when I was like, he's not out in front. He's not in the house. He's not downstairs. He's not in this alley. Where could this kid be? And that's when I started to get really nervous. And the police dispatcher was like talking to me the whole time. She's like, we're sending someone there. We're sending someone there. Don't worry, whatever. And I went back to the front of the house, and 3 houses down, Mrs. Gonzalez comes out of her front door and she's yelling, I have him. I have him. He's here. This fucking kid walked out the front door. He opened the door and left.
Aubrey's opening the door.
And he walked 3 houses down to Mrs. Gonzalez, who always gives him cookies. He went in her front door because it was open. It wasn't locked. It was just
kids. They're so rude.
Just a screen door.
Just walk in.
And he was literally in the dining room under her dining room table. She found him in her dining room and then brought him outside. And then the immediate, like, I might vomit from relief, kind of like all of that happened. But the one thing I remember is that I still had the police on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to cry. I'm like, he's here. He's here. He was in the neighbor's house. He's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the police dispatcher said to me, just give him a hug. Don't spank him. And I was like, I never would have thought of that, but it was just funny to me. Like,
I don't know what my instincts would be. Hug her
to
head.
be so angry that he scared the Jesus out of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the only time I ever spank Aubrey, shut up everyone, is when she does something that like can endanger her actual, like, you know, running in the street.
Yeah. So then this all happens. I had to deal with this turmoil, what this poor mom is going through for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
I had to deal with that for probably less than 15 minutes total. Can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And then following that, just so everyone knows,
my nails are a fucking mess right now. I'm chewing my cuticles to pieces.
I had to put locks on the interior doors, and I put them up high. Do you know 2 days later I caught that little shit with a dining room table chair at the door trying to undo the fucking lock?
So part of me, like new parenting, like 2024 parenting, I want to be like, oh my God, yay, problem solving, go you.
No.
And then the other part of me is like, what the fuck, kid?
Yeah. 100%. And then I got these,
that felt great.
I got these things. Remember when Aunt Debbie always had Avon?
Oh,
they had these things.
Fun.
They were about the size of a deck of cards. They ran on a 9-volt battery. They had a loop on them that you could hang over a doorknob.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You would put the battery in. You would pull the cord to activate this thing, and you would hang it on the door. If someone opened the door, it would swing, and the motion would make an alarm go. This alarm.
Want one now.
They probably have.
And the fucked up thing is, I actually have alarms on my doors. Like if my door opens, it dings. We know.
Yeah.
Fucking kids.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's nothing compared to this, but that feeling. I don't know how you sleep at night.
I don't. And you know, they talked about this, and Colleen and her husband, you know, they looked for her tire. Like we're talking the first day, the second day, she's still missing. The news reports. I don't even know how her brain was so. I can't imagine what was going on. And then she told the story of the grilled cheese. Like,
yeah, that was rough.
That one was really hard to listen to. And she's like, you know, we were having dinner and it was getting late. And she said, Mom, can I have another grilled cheese? And she never asked for a second grilled cheese. And then her mom said, I didn't have time to make it.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Okay.
It's really rough.
So she's missing now. The police are there. People are searching for her. We are on the red truck, and
so the kids said that this creepy guy that was by the sand and all of that, who was watching them play, that he was sitting in the cab of a red truck that had a camper shell on the back of it, and the door was open and he was smoking a cigarette and he was watching them.
Fucking gross.
So that's where. Then they start looking for this red truck.
Now, so this is where it gets interesting because there were 7 additional sightings. If we include the park, the baseball field that Morgan was taken at, and what they're calling a final location, that there was a group of teenagers that said they saw a man driving and they thought he had a little girl in the car.
Yeah.
So that would have been 6 and 7. So there were 5 spots prior to this where a man, one of them, he tried to take a little girl out of her front yard, and she was, do you have that, where she was 6, 9, 11? And look at you with your handwritten notes.
I know. I was at work.
But they're handwritten.
Well, that's all I had.
You can't touch the page and have it.
I can't have
go to a link.
No.
So there was that one. There was another sighting where he had tried to get a girl to get into his car. There was another one where he was yelling at kids for putting like bottles in the breaking bottles or glass or something like that. So the point is, what police were thinking is that this guy was looking for the right opportunity, right? And I think one of the scariest things for me is a crime of opportunity. Like, this crime might not have happened had the opportunity not presented itself, I think are the most fucked up ones, because let's say that you have it in your brain where you're like, I'm going to go out and kill someone today. I mean, that's you're on a mission. But one where it's like, this guy is like, well, yeah, I'm a dick. I'm a killer. You know, I'm a pedophile. I'm walking down the street. Oh, there's a little girl. I'm perfect. I'm just going to take her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're the worst.
It was literally wrong. Just wrong, like in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. So this red truck, there were some suspects early on. One, Charlie Ray Vines. Do you hear that name? Do you remember that name, Charlie Ray Vines? He was a suspect in another documentary that I saw, at Wits End.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you know they believe he's a serial killer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's dead?
Yeah.
So we can't, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're into the next day, and unfortunately there was a very large storm that night.
Yeah. That
brought a significant amount of flooding with it and some 30 inches of rain. So now they're worried that if Morgan had been somewhere and left, that she might not still be there. The police have searched the area thoroughly. There were some initial news reports back in the 90s, and they played them where it said that the red truck had belonged to somebody who was at the baseball field.
Mm-hmm.
And so that lead had been followed up, and they showed that information to the police now 20 years later. And he's like, I don't remember that.
Isn't that crazy?
It's fucked up, because then they show it to Colleen and she's like, so all this time we thought that had been thoroughly checked out, and it wasn't. And now how much time has gone by?
Yeah.
So
that was a little crazy. Like, and I've heard that happening before, where there's something written or somebody reports on some information, and they're like, oh, that was cleared or whatever. And where that came from, nobody knows, but everybody takes it as gospel, and then
they're done.
They don't even
They're done. Mm-hmm. So
location 1, the red truck tried to pick up a teenager who was walking along the side of the road. Mm-hmm. He scared her. She eventually kept walking it, and he pulled off. The second location, 2 girls were playing in their front yard, 2 little ones. They came in crying. Mom saw the red truck drive off. Mm-hmm. Third location, boys see the red truck driving past them. He yelled at them to get out of the road. They were riding their bikes or walking, and he yelled at them to get out of the road.
Yelled at kids to get out of the road.
The fourth one, same thing. Like, he goes another couple of blocks. He sees some more boys. He yells at them for being in the road. The fifth one is the truck being photographed at the ball field. And then later that night was the teenagers in that wooded area, and they saw the truck, and it looked like he had a little girl or someone in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So all of this, they were able to piece together in hindsight. And that's why they think that he ended up at the ball field.
Right.
Because the first one didn't pan out. The second one didn't pan out. The third one, and so on.
Yeah.
And this opportunity was the opportunity for him.
So unfortunately, days turn into years. Years turn into decades. A new cold case team comes in and takes over, and they start looking at this red truck again and find new information. They actually found the red truck.
Yes.
And unfortunately, some of the material at the time of the documentary was too degraded to say conclusively if it was belonging to one person. But at the end of the documentary, they announced that there was information that they had a suspect. And I remember the detective was like, if this is the guy, then we're fucked.
Because he's dead.
And I didn't know. But then it fucking ended. And so here's the not interesting thing, but like they said this, and then we talked about having this be our story, and then I went back and watched it a second time. When I finished it the second time and I started looking up some stuff on the internet, the fucking first thing that popped up was the new lead that they have a match for this guy whose picture they showed at the end of the documentary. What was his fucking name?
Link.
Who is also fucking dead.
Yeah.
And in this documentary, the mom, Colleen, you know, she's like, there's no justice for Morgan. And I don't know how I don't know how the world isn't outraged and isn't disgusted. And you know what? Yeah, I fucking agree with that. How the fuck do you just pluck a baby girl off the street and that's it? And there's no, so you just, that's it. You went on and lived your fucking life. You did whatever you were going to do. This probably wasn't the first time he did something like this. It probably wasn't the fucking last time. So yes, she should be outraged. Everybody should be fucking outraged. And
so I know, it's really bad. So can I tell you a story from the front lines?
Yeah.
Because in this documentary, spoiler alert, there is a section or part of it where they bring cadaver dogs in.
Yes.
To search for places.
Yes.
They do hit on some areas in that wooded area where they suspect Morgan might have been left. And then they hit on one of these piece of shit's backyard or something.
Yes.
So my dog story, you ready for this one?
Oh boy.
I met a lady once who came in to see us because she needed to arrange for, among other tests with other specialists, an upper endoscopy and a colonoscopy to look for cancer. And we're like, cool story. Tell us more. She works for a fire department, and I don't remember where. And they were doing some sort of a research study with dogs. And I think the program was primarily from Canada. And how they ended up here, I'm not sure. They were training dogs, and they can do this, to sniff people and tell them if they have cancer. And you hear about this, right? Dogs can sniff out diabetes. They can sniff out epilepsy. They can tell.
That's how that guy, Alec Baldwin, in My Sister's Keeper, had the therapy dog, and a dog started barking in court. And he's like, Your Honor, I need a break.
So,
you didn't see it?
No. No.
Okay.
So this program, and this was like there are studies done where these dogs are being trained, I guess is the word, to know what cancer smells like, no matter where it is in your body. So she was part of the control group. You don't have a smell.
Okay.
So she was part of the control group, and these dogs were like sniffing, and they kept hitting on her. And they're like, so are you okay? How are you feeling? Like, you need to go see your doctor. Because they were worried that the dogs were telling her that something smelled like cancer.
And? We
were one stop in her journey.
Oh.
Because it's very non-specific. They don't know, like, where this is. It could be anywhere from head to toe. And it could be false. But it was 2 separate dogs in the study who hit on her both times. Now, we did her workup, and she was negative from a GI perspective. But I don't know what her other studies panned out to be. But that's my story from the front lines with the doggy. With superpowers.
That's better than what we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's more palate cleanser.
We're gonna circle back, finish up with this. What was his name? Billy Jack Lynx. He was I don't even want to say he was a World War II veteran. Like, who fucking cares? I love the goddamn vets. I fucking love it.
I agree. There's a bad apple everywhere. Do you know how many people I've been watching true crime stuff about that are veterans and they get dishonorably discharged for whatever their behaviors are.
They were doing everything, weren't they?
Because they're terrible.
They were doing everything.
Just because they made it in don't mean they're people.
He was caught attempting to abduct. There it is, an 11-year-old girl 8 miles away at a baseball field where Morgan was taken from. And this was just 2 months after Morgan's disappearance. So he was found guilty of sexual solicitation and sentenced to prison, where he died in 2000. So we don't know for sure. There was some DNA that may have linked him to Morgan's case. The case is still unsolved.
So how it all turned out was, his truck.
This was that?
Probably Justin. So the truck that Lynx owned was a red truck. It did have a camper shell. It literally sat in the impound lot as evidence for over 20 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And then at some point, it was auctioned. And a grandpa...
I did hear that.
...bought the truck from the auction, as he says, a hobby to putter around with when his grandson was a little older. He has like a 3-year-old grandson, and he's like, wouldn't it be cool if I could show him how to fix up a car? That's where his thought process was.
Nice.
So they buys this camper, or this truck with the camper shell. I think the shell was gone by then.
Yeah.
But this thing had sat in the impound lot for years, like a fucking time capsule. So then they get it. It has the original upholstery. It has the original carpet.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff is the same. They were able to get DNA. I think they found blood, but it was too degraded to be a conclusive match.
So then, okay, so I saw that on the documentary as well. So what were they talking about when they released that new information?
So the second thing they found was under a floor mat.
Okay.
They found a blonde hair.
Okay.
That was consistent with Morgan's hair. And they were a little nervous about that possibly putting her in the car.
But I thought that
that was also too degraded to test.
Right.
The third thing they found was a piece of green cloth.
Right.
That was consistent with the green Girl Scout t-shirt Morgan had been wearing.
Right.
They did all their fancy stuff on this piece of cloth, and the test came back. I'm going to struggle with trying to explain this. The test came back that piece of cloth was not a 100% match for Morgan's t-shirt.
Okay.
But it was so incredibly close of a match that even if there were thousands and thousands of these t-shirts circulating, the likelihood that one piece of green cloth in that car could be closely related to her green t-shirt is like 1 in a million, because the samples are so widespread that you would have to be winning the lottery to find 2 pieces of cloth that could possibly be that close of a match together, because there are millions of samples out there. So that is I think what the documentary was kind of showing as, it is unfortunately very likely that Morgan was in that truck, and it's unfortunately likely that he did something to her. Whether he killed her or not, no one will ever know. He could have just done something to her and left her in the woods, but they got a storm of all storms that night into the next day. Yeah. They said the flood waters were anywhere between 4 feet and 32 feet. And they kind of theorized that if she was left in the woods where those teenagers saw her, whether she was alive or dead at that moment in time, it's very possible that she perished, if she wasn't already gone, in those floodwaters. And those floodwaters carried her miles and miles away, and they will likely never find her, is the way that it ended. It's
the worst ending. There's no closure.
Even if
there was, how do you fucking get closure for that? Like,
no one's ever held accountable. So how far are we into this? What are we at minute wise?
41 minutes.
All right. So The other important part of this documentary was that it sandwiches in the Jacob Wetterling case. So Jacob Wetterling was abducted and murdered and left in a field, buried in a field by Heinrich, by this guy named Heinrich. And his abduction wasn't solved like Morgan's for decades. His case is the reason that there is a sexual predator database. It was Jacob's case that made that possible. That's why that was even put into existence, because until that point there was no such thing. So the place where they have to disclose that they're living here or there among us is all because of Jacob. Now, the thing that freaks me the fuck out and I don't know if they knew this at the time that Morgan went missing, but in hindsight, with these cold case detectives, they keep talking about the potential or possible people that took Morgan, right? This predator. They're like, well, over here, not too far away, there was a serial predator doing these things to little kids. And over here, not too far away, there was another guy doing these things to little kids.
Yeah.
There were like 3 people in that area who were preying on little kids. Okay. What in the actual fuck?
All right. So I'm going to have you calm down 1 second.
Lisa, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So this is something I want to mention that I didn't know you were going to segue us here. It's something I want to mention for people. There are types of child abductions. One of them is the stranger abduction, which are harder to solve, but they actually say that happens in less than 2% of children.
It's like the serial killer.
Right.
It's
usually somebody, and then those types of child abductions, there's usually trollers or groomers. And we learned about grooming now because these people like on the internet and all that stuff. So here's something that I saw in a documentary. I can't quote it 100%. The Amber Alert, all these things that are in place for child abductions, it's because it's so horrific. These men, predators, women, on average, they're doing 3 things when they abduct a child. The first one, within 8 minutes of abducting that child, they are searching for somewhere to go to sexually molest and or assault them. 8 minutes. Think about that. Fucking think about that. Your kid goes missing. Gone. You might not even fucking realize they're gone, and somebody's already got them miles away and has molested them. The second, and then they said those ones are likely murdered within 2 hours of being taken.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fucking. All right.
That's fine. I love listening to stories all the time where the parent calls and says, my kid is missing. And the fucking cops say, oh, they ran away. We'll wait a couple days and let her come back. Let her cool off. And I'm like, they're dead in 8 fucking minutes.
Oh.
But they want to wait 2 days.
They don't anymore.
I'll tell you some stories.
I know you will.
Anyway.
The second type is when they take them to keep them for a short period of time. And this is, again, for sexual gratification. And sadly, again, those children are usually murdered within 24 to 48 hours. And then the third is to keep them indefinitely. And this the stories that we hear of children that are recovered decades and years later. So for all those parents, like I told you, Eric thinks that like kids don't get abducted. Like he thinks this is something where he's like, you're fucking paranoid. They're finally said. I'm like, not out of my sight.
No,
never out of my sight.
No.
And he told me, he's like, well, I let Aubrey ride her bike to the driveway next door. No, okay, we're talking about like 20 feet.
Okay.
But I was like, well, don't let her get far enough, or if somebody comes in a van, you can't reach her first. Whoever gets to her first, that's how far she can go.
Yeah.
I need to be able to get to her first. So,
I wonder what it's like in that world that Eric lives in.
He doesn't watch. He does not watch.
Does he sleep well?
Yes, and he doesn't think I think he thinks true crime is fiction. I think when I watch these documentaries, he's like he sees the reenactments and he's like, ugh, this again. And I'm like, this is real. And he's like, they're actors, Lisa. They're reenactments, motherfucker.
I tell you.
They're not.
Since we've been like, I always watched these things for no good reason, for my own whatever.
Do you know my doctor put me on blood pressure medicine originally because of all this?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she told me I need to stop watching true crime.
Oh, shit.
She's like, this is Dr. Polly. She's like, Lisa, you need to stop watching these documentaries. She's like, read something fun. Do something fun. And I'm like, I can't let him go, Doc.
So Justin never liked to watch this stuff with me. But now, he not only will watch them with me, he is a bit of a connoisseur, and he doesn't like the more recent Eric Menendez or the Menendez brothers one where it's like actors portraying them.
The series.
No, he likes the gritty real ones where it's the real.
Yeah.
Yes. He won't watch the other ones because he's like, I don't like those real.
I loved having him up here with us for that one. I couldn't wait to get his spin on that whole documentary. I know.
I think we should have Eric come and do some too.
No. Nobody wants to fucking hear anything that guy's got to say.
So in the beginning of this documentary, there was I think it's a policeman who was like showing us the jail where these people are housed, these sexual predators that are convicted and being sent to prison. And he said, this is what you were saying.
That's why you shushed me real hard in the beginning.
Predators need to stay in jail. Finding something attractive about a child cannot be rehabilitated.
Thank you.
I have to. I cannot.
Period.
You can't rehabilitate.
You don't get a second chance when you violate a child.
You don't get another
Nothing
chance.
about them is sexy or sultry. It is something in you is broken. It is snapped.
Somebody else said this. They are twisted beyond untwisting.
Oh, I did. Oh,
that was in the first part.
So,
might have been that same guy.
I have a story, but I'm not willing to share it on air yet. Okay. And I want everybody to put a pin in this one. And if you really want to hear it after we maybe have like $10 and this podcast stops.
We earn
where it stops costing us money to make it. Because I had told Eric, I'm like, man, I gotta start dropping those episodes. I'm like, we need to get some endorsements or something. And he's like, please tell me you're not doing this to make money. And I'm like, no, I just want it to stop costing us money. I was like, I don't care if we make money. I'm like, but it literally cannot keep costing us money. So we'll just say, Lisa, you could tell us your pedophile story and just say that it has to do with a teacher. A person.
No.
Yes, scandalous.
No.
So, okay. So now that we have discussed all of I don't want to take too much away from our original story. I want to take a minute and just everybody say a little prayer, whatever your religion and beliefs are, for Colleen and her family and our poor, the young woman who was taken in this story. Her name is, again, Morgan Chantel Nick. And if we could just say one tiny little prayer for her, that wherever she is, she has found peace and her family finds a little bit of peace. I'm getting all emotional again.
It's really bad, Lisa.
I know. We're going to take a break from
Can I say too
the kids.
The thing that really stuck with me was this poor dad. When they were like, oh, he's not.
Nobody wants to hear from the dad.
Who the fuck says
I don't know.
A grieving
when he was in that documentary and he said the first night I almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course you didn't. He said he was sitting in his car and the rain was coming down and the storm was happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was thinking all of these unimaginable, horrific things. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up.
So when you said that about like, you're going to put your kids to bed the next night, but there's one missing. How do you And that was my thought too, was I remembered the way he said that he was sitting in his car in that storm. And I think I would just be like, but what if she's cold? What if she's hungry still? What if? I don't know. I don't know how they go through their life. I don't know how they do it. They're stronger than me. Okay, let's do, it's an ID
series.
called Murder Comes to Town.
Ooh.
Season 1. Episode 2.
Okay.
The Rick and Ruth Gee Murders.
Phew.
Beeson, Illinois. And don't park next to vans. Roll up your fucking windows. Mixed and edited by me, Marie Abenante, parentheses, sort of professionally, end of parentheses. Executive produced by my sister, Lisa Linsner, and me, Marie Abenante.
Music by John Bartman, track City Girls. Cover art by our beautiful and talented niece, Alexis Marie Guerrero.
And we did all of this on our platform called Riverside, which is very user-friendly and lovely, and I hope it sounds good and looks good, and Riverside, forgive us for embarrassing you.
And thank you.
And thank you.